Bet you weren't expecting this. Why hello to all my fellow nerds. This is Archer coming at you with my very first Nerf review video. Today's video I would like to talk about something that, in my eyes, is the perfect, all-amazing competitors package. Yes, that's right, we're gonna be dabbling into a little bit of competitive Nerf. What makes it actually awesome? Now, there are two blasters that we will be talking about. The first one being the FDL, courtesy of Project FDL, and the Talon Claw, courtesy of Second Guess Productions. Fortunately, I was able to take my entire package to the recent Southern Maryland House of Nerf September battle. Now, there are two reasons for why we're gonna be talking about these blasters. The first reason being the Foam Pro Tour. I was fortunate enough to receive an FDL3 ahead of time. Thank you, Spectre and 7. In using this FDL3, I was able to practice, I was able to get a gauge on what worked for me and what didn't, and what my play style was, that over time, it was pretty clear that I needed to have an FDL of my own. Reason number two, my name is Archer. Archer comes from bows, which bows are rather nice. However, my bows only kind of hit 100 FPS. With that being said, the first blaster that we're going to be talking about is the FDL. So I went ahead with the short nose, and thus far it has proven to be very, very successful. My colors were red, midnight purple, and lightning blue because reasons. When you put in a Talon mag, because that's what it feeds, you are able to adjust to whatever speed. So say, for example, I need to take something that is a slower game, like 100 FPS. I just gotta lower this dial down, and the blaster will shoot to my accommodation. But say I wanna go hard hitting and go fast and really just shoot someone with foam in the face. The thing with this FDL is that it works for me because it's small and it's light. I tend to travel very light and I tend to travel very aggressive. So coming about and having a full auto tail, which basically means you could just pull the trigger and go nuts, having darts streamline non-stop, was not something that was very practical for me. When I took this blaster to the chronograph, it went at an average of about 170 FPS, which for something of this size is kind of insane. The only issue I came to have with the FDL was that it was a really hot day, like a really hot day, and the wheels were starting to jam with the darts. Now mind you, these are brand new darts, but the wheels are starting to take an effect with the adverse heat. You will need to give your FDL a little bit of a break and maybe do some repair work with it, but other than that, I did have to take it out for a round. But other than that, it performed rather well, and I definitely am proud of the investment for which I put into this blaster. If you do come to invest in it, it is definitely something worthwhile, given you do the proper care, proper maintenance, and more importantly, keeping it out of the sun. Don't put it in your cars.
Why can't we all just play fair?
I just hope everybody has fun.
Now, even though having an offensive blaster, and FDL in general, is super cool and super awesome to have on the field, it is more important to have something that will cover you, something that will serve as a defensive blaster, which is why, for my defense blaster choice, we are going to talk about the Talon Claw. Like the FDL, this is all 3D printed with the exception of this being a Springer blaster. This blaster, unlike the FDL, is something that was a generous commission towards me. I had received this free of charge. I did not pay for this. This is all completely from the handiwork of Andrew Crow at Second Guess, with a few special key features such as this orange tip here, which my temperature in this apartment right now is about 73 degrees, but if you put this outside and say 95 degrees in the middle of Maryland, you will notice that the barrel turns a very light yellow, which is very cool for me because number one, style points, And number 2, this tells me that when it gets super hot for a long period of time or the color begins to change, it tells me to check up on my blaster, check up on my flywheels, that if any repairs need to be done, then the repairs can be done.
For the funsies. Well, gosh darn.
But it is made from a durable grade of PLA. I can take this thing through dirt, through the sand, through grass, anything that I want to take it through, intense weather, intense heat, and this thing can do the job that it is meant to do, which for me is always something that I'm looking for. And then the last key feature on this is that this spring in here is a K26 spring. I was able to take this to the chronograph. The average rate of fire was about 190, 192 FPS. It is very hard to prime back. We're talking about a caliburn spring here. So if you don't have the upper body strength to pull this back and prime, you're gonna have a tough time. You cannot readily change out the spring inside, which is a little unfortunate when you wanna change up your game style or accommodate better to the game set, or in my case, make your FPS lower so that you can use the Talon Claw a bit more. So it is one minor setback to the many uses of the Talon Claw, and if you're coming to have some sort of interest in purchasing a Talon Claw, I highly recommend getting it from Andrew Crow over at Second Guess Productions. It is a worthwhile investment, and this thing is still kicking for me for my competitor's package as a whole. So I definitely recommend him.
Well, that was a... Yeah, man! Ha! That's called a hey!
And that's it, folks. That's pretty much everything that I have for you this round. I would like to take the time now to thank Project FDL, Second Guess Productions, Southern Maryland House of Nerf, the Snow Cone guy who gave the really stellar soundtrack. I also hope that with your kindness and criticism, really, that I may come to continue future videos like this one. But until such time, until the next video, this is Archer reminding you to stay classy, stay awesome, and have a stellar day. Take it easy, everybody.
It's a big card. This way.